So I started being really interested in the idea of a small women-focused boutique when I was in grad school, and I worked at a Finer Moment, which is a prom dress store. And she started dabbling in a little bit of wedding dresses, and I was 26 at the time when all of my friends were starting to get married and we were doing lots of shopping, but we were all traveling to Seattle to find those really unique dresses and the really unique experience. And I just felt like if I did it, I had so many ideas. I didn't even know I had those types of ideas. I just felt like I could create something so specific that just didn't exist in Spokane yet. So every single traditional bank told me no when I scheduled meetings and business and presented my business plan. And Snap was really the only financial institution locally that took me seriously in the meeting and also understood that, yes, I was a very young first-time entrepreneur, but I had an extremely solid idea that I thought I could really prove that there was this missing niche of a business in our local market. And I just felt so strongly that this was such a fantastic idea. And I had really put in the work to prove that. And so Snap was the first place that offered me the access to a small business loan. I would really attribute the balance to being that I am not here 24/7. I've hired and trained other staff to run the business just as I would. And that only happens by investing in your key people. The recognition is crazy. These are milestones that I didn't think I would hit until like my 10th, 15th year in business. So yeah, it's just kind of unbelievable. I don't know if that will ever really sink in. I am really obsessed with wanting to make sure this business always feels small and authentic. I think that if I opened up another location in another city, I don't want to feel like I don't have control over the atmosphere and the experience. So honestly, no, I want to drill in and have this be just like the best ever, 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 ever. I think the process of me creating my 40-page business plan, doing all of that hard work that is, completely unpaid, happening on nights and weekends, essentially doing in the dark, that is really where I feel like I learned a lot about the business. I think a lot of people can look at it and think it seems really flashy and fun and exciting, but you're not seeing the hundreds of hours that go into the prep and planning and really making sure that doing your competitive analysis, making sure that this is actually a business in the community that makes sense, that you think you can be, honestly, you can plan to be profitable almost immediately, requiring that of your operations. I really think that that is an invaluable experience. I feel like business plans are not something that people think they're really old and just for banks, but man, that was like the most invaluable experience. I still have my original drafts in a notebook upstairs in my office that I keep and I show people. We were actually originally going to be called the Ivory Loft. I mean, I didn't tell anybody about the business because I didn't want anyone else's opinions for a really long time until I knew that I could answer every single question confidently, including not only just like the operation of the business, but also the financial components. I mean, I really educated myself on what is a balance sheet, what is profit and loss statement, how are those different? I think doing all that work in the dark before you announce to anybody you're starting a business is huge.